Do it again and again and again. Do what no one else has done with radio. This is our promise at Diamond FM. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's a minute gone past our 9 o'clock. Good morning, and thank you for staying with us on Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. This is News Punch. It's a news and current affairs compilation of topical stories, headlines making the rounds. I'm your host, BABAFEMI. OKUNLOLA. You're welcome. And trending in the headlines in the news today. Senate confirms 45 ministerial nominees as El-Rufai, 2 others await clearance. Federal government withdraws contempt charge against NLC, TUC. Nigeria Air Force airstrikes destroys boats with stolen crude oil in rivers. Mob beats Lagos policeman to stupor for pushing man crushed by BRT. Voire Diaso, everyone culpable will face full wrath of the law, NMA vows on medical professional staff. Still on Voire Diaso, optometrist rise in defense of murdered colleague, ask IGP to speed up prosecution. On seated home enforcers working against my release, I will never forgive them, says Nnamdi Kanu. Wrong NIN, other biodata cause of passport delay, says immigration. Atiku's aide begs Tinubu to intervene in Bawa's detention. Moving on to the foreign scene, Mali warns ECOWAS against military intervention in Niger. Again, Mali, Burkina Faso to send delegation to Niger over coup crisis. Top U.S. official says country had difficult talks with Niger coup leaders, no chance of going back to democracy. And moving into the world of sports, Randy Waldrum praises Super Falcons despite loss to England. And those are the major headlines making the rounds today. It was compiled and edited by Mahmood. My name is Babatunde OKUNLOLA. For sponsorship or advert placements, kindly contact our sales and marketing office. You can call the marketing lines on 0912 9294 332, or you can call 0812 8286 078. Well, that's the size of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have an in-depth analysis of some of the topical headlines just heard. Don't forget you can follow us by logging on to any of Diamond FM's online platforms on www.diamondfm.net, or keep up to date via our social media pages at Diamond 887 FM on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Well, we'll be right back after this time out. Our guest is seated close by already, promises to be an engaging conversation. This is Diamond 88.5 FM, Ilorin.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 87 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, no kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
And welcome back to the program, the Diamond Breakfast Show, with me, Babachan OKUNLOLA. Friends call me FTO. While Diamond Breakfast Show reaches you on this platform Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. It's where we bring you the headlines and highlights of the biggest stories making the rounds in the polity. And we also have that's a news punch, and then we have the Diamond Breakfast Show proper, where we have our in-house analysts who join us every time that they can to break down some of these biggest stories. One very crucial part of the show is us bringing you words directly from the source's mouth. It's good to have you join us this morning on the program. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show. We'll tell you how. But first and foremost, let me introduce my guest, who I haven't had the honor of aspiring with for a very, very long time. Talking about none other than Elder Wole Adediji. He's an editor, Nigerian Express, and public affairs analyst. Elder, it's good to have you back in the studio.
Good to have you again. You're looking so wonderful, so smooth.
Elder, don't get me into trouble.
All
That's
right.
not the right thing to say at this point in time. Nigerians are going through a lot. Elder, it's good to have you. It's always a delight to have you to spar with in the studio. Yeah. Well, don't forget, dear listener, you can be a part of the show. And here's how. The call line is 0913 6556 952. Again, that is 0913 6556 952. The WhatsApp on the program is 0913 6556 864. Again, that is 0913 6556 864. We're also streaming live this conversation even as we're having it. All you have to do is simply get on our Facebook Meta platform, and that is Diamond 887 FM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can be a part of the show. I see the phone lines buzzing already, but let's open up the conversation. Elder, it's good to have you join us. Well, for the past couple of days, one thing has been in the news. It's been the ministerial screening. It's been the processes that, some of the nominees have had to go through. Some people have been told to take a bow and walk away, while some people have received some of the grillings of their life as it is. A couple of days over the weekend, employment and adding 2020 earmarked 52 billion naira for the program to recruit 1,000 youth from each of the 774 local governments for 3 months and pay them 20,000 naira each. But many people didn't receive that money, and KAMO refused to account for it. Well, after a lot of back and forth and, the motion being suspended, he came back and then he apologized. But first and foremost, let's have a listen to how that particular scene played out on the floor of the House, even while he was there. Let's have a listen to this.
I want to bring to the notice of this House that sometime in 2020 that an issue came up. And that issue was the because this is something that will help our people. Today we are talking about paying 8,000 to some people to make sure that it will alleviate poverty. Then it was the amount of 20,000 to 1,000 persons across the 774 local governments, which my local government is part of it. And I'm sure your local government is part of it. And today, 1,000 per each local government minimum, 20,000 naira, has a great multiplier effect that will make our people cushion so many effects that would have led our people into a very brighter height. But what really happened? At a point, we wanted to carry out our responsibility, because if some people can use the instrumentality of law, which they find themselves within their confines of their own authority, to advance for all their justices, why can't we use the instrumentality of the legislature to support our people and help the populace, which we represent?
Well, there you have it. You have that particular take. Well, he did get back on the floor of the House to apologize for this. And this is how that apology went and his explanation.
I had done that to him personally and to the committee before, and I do that to the entire Senate at this time. Maybe it was as a result of the lack of knowledge of the fact that this matter had long been resolved between us and the members of that committee. Subsequently, there were so many hearings, budget defense and all that we attended under very convivial atmosphere. So the apology is without reservation at all. I apologize. The only two things I just need to say before I go, because we are before the world.
Well, that was that apology. Because of our time, we'll have to move on. Elder Didiji, well, you have that particular scene playing out. Well, there are many who have viewed these processes that we have seen occur, between the Bosun and, the different standards that have been set by the members of the floor when it comes to the questions asked. Some argue that this screening has become grounds to settle some personal issues as against national interests. Or is it just the two, the both?
No, I don't really see it that way. You see, I think it has gotten to a point in this country that when people get to the office, they should not see themselves as Lord to themselves, particularly when it is that they should serve the people. And when they are given certain responsibilities, it doesn't have to be the National Assembly. You and I, we have a right to ask them questions and make them accountable to us. And the drama that played out yesterday, or thereabout, we all understand how he scaled through. You remember the Senate president had to adjourn cleverly and rush to the president to have a closed-door meeting with the president. And the president will have spoken with his own men in the Hallows chamber, pleading with them, and they will have schooled Keyamo to, at least for once, be moderate in his actions. Don't forget that Keyamo was one of a few individuals who expected that his name would have been on the first list, and his name was out. And the second list also, his name was not there. And instead of keeping quiet, he had to put up a bold face to say yes, he knows, and he congratulated those who had been appointed, who had been nominated, and he wished them well, that they should work hard. This is the same man. Shortly after the division between, he was a serving minister under Buhari.
Well, he was.
And then when it was time shortly after the primaries, and he was so much involved in the campaign exercise, and suddenly turned around to say, yes, it was wrong to have a minister of state
at the end of his tenure.
Conveniently. And had collected money for 8 years and all that. People were now saying, okay, no problem, it was illegal, it was constitutional. Come on, refund the money. Suddenly he kept his mouth shut. You see, this kind of character, I think the Senate had shown him, and we look forward to things like that to come more and more. I think what they said against him, he just said there had been a reconciliation between him and that committee of the House of Reps. Has he reconciled with you and I? 52 billion naira is no small money. And certain millions of Nigerians were deprived their rights. Well, and 50 million naira went down the drain. Well, and he said he has only reconciled with a section of people, and you and I, that's our money. I think one day this man will still be called to face the public and explain to us what became of that money.
Well, Elder Wale Adedeji, that was one particular screening that so many Nigerians critics have said, well, we're quite satisfied with this particular one, but we wished the same yardsticks had been used across board. Let's go on a timeout right now. Don't forget, you can be a part of the conversation. Send us your messages and your thoughts via WhatsApp, even as the conversation progresses in the studio. Here's how. You can send us your WhatsApp message through 0913 6556 864. Again, that is 0913 6556 864. That's the WhatsApp number. We're also streaming live. We'll be taking your comments, reading them out live on from the Facebook page. That is at Diamond 887 FM. Let's go pay bills very quickly. When we return, the conversation continues with our guest in the studio. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Are you looking to introduce your business to the world or maintain an existing brand image? Well, let's help you. Advertise with us at Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. We provide a wide range of services to help showcase your business. For inquiries and advert bookings, visit our marketing office at Plot 2, New Uni Road, Irewolede, Ilorin, or call 091 2929 4332 or 081 2828 6078. Diamond 887 FM, your shining supreme station.
And welcome back now. 18 minutes gone past your hour, 9 o'clock. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. My name is Babatunde OKUNLOLA. Friends call me FTO. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're taking a look at the ministerial nomination screening process. Another drama played out yesterday on the floor of the House after the senators quizzed KMO on to explain himself on why he refused to show up when he had been summoned while he was a minister previously. And sparring with me in the studio, I have Elder Wale Adedeji, an editor, Nigerian Express, and public affairs analyst. Elder, it's good to have you join me in the studio.
It's my pleasure.
Elder, we're just going on with that particular conversation as it occurred. And again, let's take a look at some other issues. Well, while 45 out of the 48 nominees for the ministerial position have been confirmed, 3 nominees are yet to be cleared over what the DSS says is security issues. Well, the names of the 3 who haven't been cleared, nominees affected nominees indicted in the DSS and NSA letters were a former governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, Stella Okotete, and Senator Abubakar Danladi from Taraba State. They had raised some reservations about this particular personnel and why they should or hold their positions. Well, the present list has been said to be the highest that we have had so far, and nominees selected have not been without one controversy or the other. Taking a look at the list of the personnel that we've had, on the one hand, we have this report by the DSS saying security clearance. There are some persons who some have argued that they haven't exactly done a good job of giving accountability when it comes to some finance or the others. There are those who believe that shouldn't we have exercised the same caution or pause before, pushing this list forward. The president's spokesperson had something to say recently, and he said, well, some of them have not been indicted, in a court of law, so to speak. But what are your thoughts on this crop of ministers that have been pushed forward?
You see, I disagree with this notion that always comes from public officers while defending their fellow public officer or the public officer to be. To say somebody has not been indicted.
Well, that's what we hear.
I always disagree with that. Somebody had been accused. You don't give him public responsibility until he clears himself of that accusation. So, and we know the practice in this part of the world. Once you are there on the saddle, it's like the law will not becomes afraid of you to go after you. Take for instance, the DSS is now telling us about 3 people that they should not be screened because of security issues surrounding them. While they were there, I'm sure it's just not today that the security issues, our secret police get to know of that. Ordinarily, these people should have been made, particularly the ones that are not sitting governors, should have been made to
account
for that. And security issue is so sensitive and so important to any human organization. If somebody is found to be on the other side of that, of course, he should have been made to purge himself of certain things. And then the issue of former governor of Kaduna State, for instance, I mean, we all know that for 8 years that he was there, I mean, a section of that state will always complain about his own style of handling security issues, leading to many hundreds of lives that were killed. So we will say that. But I hope that the same will apply to others, even if those who have been cleared. Whether when eventually they get there, I hope Nigerians will come up. I hope necessary agencies of government that had issues against one person or the other, is it the anti-graft organizations, is it this, is it that, is it corruption, is it security, and what have you, that will come up. And for once, we need to move forward in this country. And we have seen, for instance, a set of people, set of Nigerians recycling themselves from local government chairman to governor to minister to senate, then to want to become president, becoming vice president, and what have you. So I think we need to be searching very well and screen our leaders.
Well, Elder, I'd like to open up the phone lines, but one major point of controversy during this whole process has also been the lack of portfolios attached. Some people felt it might have been better. The constitutional lawyers argue that, you know, the president hasn't done anything wrong by not attaching portfolios to some of the candidates that have presented, nominees that have presented themselves. But they say it would have been better to know that, okay, if Festus Keyamo is being, you know, it's been proposed that he will be handling this agency, that would have given the senators more room to quiz and ask specific roles. Because, again, the Senate, some of the nominees who came before the House and who took a bow and left when the House was quizzed, the excuse given then was that, no, it served in a role before. But how do you know that somebody who had served in a health capacity role would be a perfect fit when it comes to works and infrastructure in that case? So do you think these are things that should be changed? There are many who argue that this is sort of made a mess of the process. But then the supporters say, well, there's no place in the Constitution where it mandates, you know, the president to tie each candidate with, you know, a portfolio.
Well, you see, substantially in this country, since 1999, we have seen people appointed as ministers or as commissioners as those who have been rewarded for their roles, commitment to the political party that get to power, their efforts during the elections, and not necessarily the kind of thing that you and I expect, that it could have been this person, it could have been an engineer that should have been made to be in charge of a Minister of Works, or
technocrats,
technocrats that you see. So it has been like that, and that's been our system. I just hope one day we'll get out of that. But as per not attaching portfolio to nominees, well, we have seen it over and over again that on the day of inauguration, swearing these public officers, the ministers or commissioners, that it is the secretary of the government that will now reel out their portfolios attached to them on that day. And we have seen some other instances too where, while their names are mentioned, it is attached to their portfolio. But I think most often it is when there's a swapping. Maybe a minister, a commissioner is dropped, another person is appointed. That is when you now see, once the announcement is made of his nomination or appointment, then they attach portfolio to it. So it has been the practice for over 20 years now.
All right. Well, again, can practices be changed? Or would love to have your take this morning on the program. Here's how you can call. You can contribute. You can call us in the studio right now. 0913 6556 952. Again, that is 0913 6556 952. You can also call 0800 887 887. Again, that's 0800 887 887. Your name, your location, please go straight to the point. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What is your name and where you're calling us from?
Calling from Charles.
Good to have you, sir. Please go on quickly.
Yes, man. That's the weather in the house.
Thank you.
I want to comment on Keyamo affair.
Please go on.
You see, as a public office holder, you should be mindful of what we say and what we do. Because whatever we do today, we can't unlock tomorrow. If not, in Nigeria, where things are done based on sentiment, somebody like Yamu shouldn't have been passed by the Senate. But the same Senate that we debated the other time, it's not the same Senate that we are not going to them. I think our public holders should learn how to behave whenever they are in position of authority. Thank you, my brother.
All right, well, thank you very much for that particular take. 0913-655-6952. Or you can call 08000-887-887. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. What is your name and where you're calling from, please?
My name is Taiwo. I'm calling from Taiwo.
Taiwo from Taiwo. That's unique. Good to have you. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I don't think Festus Keyamo deserves to be a minister in Nigeria and again. I don't think.
Why do you say that?
Yes, because we have many people who are also talented, who have a lot to offer. Why are they still bringing the same set of people into government again? So that we are talking about the set of the new set of mind, good people, new ideas. Yes, but what Mr. President is doing now is like a reward for what they did during the election. So that is not what Nigeria are asking for or demanding for. So that we pray that, so may God guide all of us. May God bless Diamond.
May God bless you too, Taiwo from Taiwo. Well, the phone lines have gone crazy, but Elder, I want to quickly ask you this question.
Yeah.
We have, the truth is, we have this ideology and we have this...
Ministers, the president offered to the Senate.
Please go ahead.
You see, somebody said, when he delayed in bringing out the list, almost beating the deadline, somebody said they expected him to bring out something very special. But that in the end, it turned out to be an elephant just giving birth to rats. Now, if the president really means business, what does he have to do with El-Rufai in ministerial appointment again? And Kayamu? What's the meaning of all this? They are only playing game with our destiny in Nigeria. May God deliver us.
Amen.
Well, those are very strong thoughts right there. Well, this is one show where you have different takes. We accommodate every take, and this is a Nigerian speaking up about, some of these issues. 0913-655-6952. Let's take maybe one or two, and then we'll be moving on to the next topic that we have. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. You're live. What is your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Babatunde. I'm calling from Beijing.
Babatunde, it's good to have you join us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
The issue, I've been listening to the program, and I think I'm okay with it.
Please go
on. You see, the issue is everybody is talking, why Keyamo, why El-Rufai? Are they not the people that work for the president? They are the people that work for the president. It's only that we have been economical with the truth. If you are in that position, you do the same thing. The people you believe in are the people you ask to work with you. So I think what Nigerians should do is that we should not allow anybody to, mobilize us while we are voting. Let us push our conscience and things will be okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your take. I see a smile on your face. This reaction has to be expected, or or do you think it's way more complex than?
But I said earlier on, we have seen it has become a practice here, compensating those who had worked for the party or worked for the election. That's the way it goes.
Should you compensate people who haven't worked for your party and worked for,
But they would have worked for the election.
Elder,
we hope we'll get out of it someday.
All right, Elder. Elder's a journalist. Okay, so I know, we know. All right, Elder, it's always good to have you join us.
My
Guys,
pleasure.
we're also on Facebook, Ajayi Oluwaseun Femi. You're asking a question. I can't read that out on radio, but you said, now, well, Diamond FM is now a tsunami in radio broadcasting in Kwara State, waiting for your TV station. Mandate Ventures, thank you for your comments. It's Lucky Boy. Well done, sir. Well done. Laoala Olowo says, good morning, sir. Well, good morning to you. We're taking your comments live on our Facebook, and you can have a front row seat even into the conversation as it's unfolding. Let's go make some money. We'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
kòkòkò lára ọ̀tá le. gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. kára ó lè pè ń ban. àtọ̀ra wọ̀ àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa. kegun ó tò kegun ó nà. kára ó yá gágá. ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. tẹ̀bá ti fi kára ó lè pè ń ban ra. lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. fi kára ó lè pè ń ban bọ̀. káì ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. action action. ó jẹ́ ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. kára ó lè pè ń ban lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. agbára pọ̀. kára ó lè pè ń ban. tuyi pharmaceutical industries limited. àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. kára ó lè pè ń ban. ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. kára ó lè pè ń ban. ó kì í síbẹ̀.
kára ó lè pè ń ban rẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa.
The management of University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, UITH, wishes to draw the attention of the activities of some unscrupulous people who are out there impersonating the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Professor A.D. Yusuf, with the promise of providing non-existent employment slots and for a fee. For avoidance of doubt, the management continues to state unequivocally that there is no employment going on in the hospital at the moment, and the management will never ask for fee to secure employment. The general public is hereby warned not to patronize such persons who are scammers, but rather seek clarifications by contacting the hospital to make inquiries from the spokesperson of the hospital, or visit the hospital's website to get proper and accurate information when necessary. Consequently, the management therefore warns those scammers behind this dastardly act to desist, as the long arm of the law will soon catch up with them. Thank you. Signed, Mrs. Ajiboye E.O., Head Corporate Affairs Unit for Chief Medical Director.
And welcome back to the program now, 9:34, 26 minutes approaching the hour 10 o'clock. This is Diamond FM's Diamond Breakfast Show. With me, Babatunde OKUNLOLA. Friends call me FTO. Thank you for joining us. And this morning we're sparring with Elda Wole Adedeji, editor, Nigerian Express, and a public affairs analyst. Elda, it's good to have you join me once again.
Thanks for having me.
Well, so much to talk about. The phone lines are still buzzing, but we need to move on to other conversations, and this one has got to do with the issue of corruption. Well, yesterday, news broke out, and there's an audio to play for that. A former staff member of the Federal Character Commission, Mr. Aaron Okolo, alleged that job seekers paid millions of naira into his personal account for remission to the commission's chairman, Mrs. Farida Dankaka. Kolo said this on Monday in Abuja at the resumed investigative hearing of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee probing job racketeering in federal ministries, departments, and agencies of government. The committee is also probing the alleged mismanagement of integrated payroll and personnel information (IPPIS) and MDAs. He said he usually approached the point of sale, that's the POS agents, to collect the money in cash and deliver it to the chairman. He further said that Dankaka appointed him as her chief protocol while he was working in the FCC, that's the Federal Character Commission. Well, again, we have that particular audio of how exactly the allegations made and what was said, and so I think it's a good time for us to have a listen to that clip.
Show is the PA, is how as the PA to the Travel Commission and driver. She told me to liaise with him. So if there's any, as a tax officer of IPPS HR money, I'm responsible of taking whoever is recruited in federal character to IPPS for capturing. So you will not go there until when you have letter by the executive chairman or the director of HR. So when she came, she wrote a letter to the Accountant General there that any correspondence that is coming from Federal Character Commission should not be attended to unless if she's the one that signs the letter. So whenever there's new recruitment, she signed, she gave me the names that I'll take it to Accountant General before the new this will be captured, the minister will be captured. Sir, the Shehu is the one that brought people to anyone. I only acted based on instructions.
Well, there you have it, Elder Wally.
Yeah.
Right there. These are heavy allegations right there.
Very heavy.
Just let's have a little bit of a background. Well, the Federal Character Commission is responsible for equitable distribution of positions and federal jobs across the country. We're in the middle of a ministerial nomination right now. That's the agency that ensures that, okay, there's equitable spread. You know, so these are heavy allegations that, you know, he did mention that he never did a transfer. But again, some would argue it's his word against hers. But then again, there's been several damning, cases where the former chairman, Federal Character Commission, Muhiba Farida Dankaka, opened a can of worms implicating the commissioners in the commission before the House of Representatives committee. So it's a big issue. Let's have a listen to that particular audio as well.
I didn't come to this place to make money or to serve my father's land. I have 37 commissioners. What they are looking for is quite different. Before I came here, I've made my name. I've made my money. Some of them, not all of them, they have reasons why they are attacking. And I'll still
they mention your name, so mention their names.
I'll win, one after the other. When I first came in, most of them, they are my party, close people around here. Before I came to this place, they were selling slots. The place is like a market. And you can find that for people that live in Abuja if I'm lying. When I came in, I met with all the commissioners. And I told them that they gave us a Quran. I don't want anything that will destroy me or my family. And they can bear witness, all of them here, we're under your vote. Some of them here, like Oshun, he bought a property and told the person that holds the property that he will be paying with slots. I stop it. I have it.
It's a case of allegations and counter allegations of commissioners, staff members, on FCC, and the other. You know, after they accused her, of course, she came out to say this as well. Again, it's still an ongoing hearing, but many argue that this seems to be a microcosm of the situation when it comes
everywhere.
To the ministries. I think it was last year, so where they said, well, we talk about corruption. Well, the corruption, and forgive me, those are not my words. Those are the reports out there that the corruption within the civil service itself, will blow your mind. But let's talk about this. We seem to have these cases.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
see,
not new.
Femi, I have somebody in my church. Each time we sit down to talk about Nigeria, you know what his reply, his own contribution is always that God, let our enemies quarrel among themselves so that we can see. Said the wind will blow and we see the inch of fowl, and maybe what belongs to us will eventually come to us. Look at what she said. He said they were her paddies, they were her friends, and they were supposed to do public work to serve you and I. They were paddies in the first instance. It goes to say that at a point there was a disagreement between them, and so they were exposing her, and she's now exposing them. And yes, but there's one thing that struck me when his protocol man was talking. I still begin to wonder whether the agencies in charge of our financial activities in Nigeria are still at work or not, or maybe they have gone to sleep. How can somebody whose job is not really known, his means of income is not other than he is a civil servant, and 1 million naira, 1.5 to 5 million naira is paid to his account regularly, and that's a bank, and somebody who perhaps opened a salary account or whatever account is not a business account, and millions are coming into that account, and nobody is asking questions. Then it went further to say he was cashing this money through POS. So there are POS agents in Nigeria that can disburse as much as 5 million naira cash from under a tree somewhere. I think something is wrong somewhere. But the truth remains that is a house of fraudulent practices, corruption. Well, and it is just that at a point that they have quarrels among themselves, they are now exposing themselves. I think maybe it's on our side. God is we are able to see what is happening there.
Well, these are the sort of sensational stories that Nigerians love to hear again. But then again, it's one person's word against the other. And, well, we hope to get some more. But then again, let's have your take on this latest story as well. Here's how. WhatsApp number, WhatsApp route, where you can send us those thoughts as 0913-6556-864. Again, that is 0913-6556-864. You can call 0913-6556-952 or 0800-887-887. Your name, your location, please go straight to the point. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. This is Tosin from Amsterdam.
Good to have you, Tosin. Please go on, please.
FCU, I weep for this country. That's just the truth. Elder, I weep for this country. When people say what the adult community, what they are exposing as regards federal character commission, when you hear those allegations, in the middle of those allegations, you begin to hear some truth. And this is what happened in all the agencies, all the ministry. My
brother, you have to translate that one.
How can a parent send his children to school, spend hundreds of thousands, at the end of the day, no job, nothing, in the middle of such a system? How? I weep for this country.
Thank you very much. Well, that's one. He's lost for words. He doesn't know what to say about it. 0913-6556-864. That's the WhatsApp number. Hello, good morning.
FCU.
Hello, good morning. You're live.
Maybe it's coming back from Charles.
Good to have you. Please go on quickly.
Are we surprised of this revelation?
Well, some people are surprised.
No, I don't think anybody in Nigeria should be surprised of what is coming out now. It is not only the federal system. It is even happening in states. So people will just have that opportunity, using that opportunity. You can see, how can somebody be selling slot, collecting money? It is no more allegation, it is a fact. So I think the USCC and the ICP should just come in and do the right thing.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, again, that was an investigative hearing, so we would suppose that, some processes of sort already going on in this particular regard, on this particular issue right now. Again, we'll have to go pay bills very quickly, but let's take one or two more before we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Isa from Ilori.
Good to have you, sir. Please go on, Mr. Isa.
Yeah, I was saying it some time ago. I said the problem is not at the head, but the society. There are so many things, if the head is to get better, there are so many things that needed to be changed in our society. Look at what you are hearing now. Just imagine, if any of these people have opportunity of getting to that top, what do you think could be experiencing? Could be calling the federal government is back. Because from the society, things have gone wrong. We need to realize so many things need to change if we are to get it at the top. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for your call this time around. Again, keep them coming in. I see the WhatsApp messages already, and we'll be going straight to that in a bit. But we have to go on a break now. Let's take this one, and then we go on that break. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zil. I'm calling from Pharmacia School, Basin.
Dr. Zil, it's good to have you. Please go on.
Yeah, I want to actually mention that we shouldn't be surprised at all. It's only somebody who is not current and has been following the shenanigans in government, from local government to state and federal government, that will be surprised. For me, I am highly intelligent about this nation, and I don't believe that any bad thing that happened in this nation is unexpected. It is expected because we have bad leaders everywhere in this country, from local, state to federal, and they don't mean well. They are supposed to be followers. They are not supposed to be leaders, and they just pack themselves there. Imagine what we are hearing now, and the anti-graft agency is not coming on board. We can't leave this thing just for these people to just do the investigation alone. We're now supposed to have been seeing people behind bars. Not that we only listen to entertain us in the media or for them to just be talking. No. We need discipline in this nation. A lot of them, they are being evil to us, and we say we are getting better. We are not. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Zia. Let's go pay some bills and make some money. We'll be right back in a bit. To stay tuned.
the entire management and staff of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, we congratulate Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo, the General Overseer of the Freedom Apostolic Revival International Ministry, also known as Baba Authority, on the occasion of his birthday celebration, which is today, the 8th August 2023. We wish you a happy and prosperous birthday celebration. May the grace of God continue to shine upon your life. May He continue to bless you abundantly. Happy birthday to you once again.
And you're welcome back for the last stretch of the program. This is Diamond 88.7 FM's Breakfast Show with me, Babatunde Okunlola. Friends call me FTO, and we're sparring with our guests in the studio, Elder Wale Adedeji. Back to the phone lines, 913-655-6952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live. What is your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Abayomi from Ilorin.
Abayomi, good to have you, Abayomi. Please go on quickly.
Yeah, you see, I don't think anyone will be surprised, like almost everyone has said. And that's why, that's due to the bad leaders that we have in this country. I always find it somehow difficult when people are blaming the society.
Hello, Abayomi. All right, well, I don't know what happened right there, but I think it was a communication issue. We have several messages right here. This one says, good morning, presenter. I'm Okoro by name from Ofa. Please, I want to ask a question regarding the ministerial nominees. Does it mean that there is no other party member no other party members who are qualified to be nominated? Why the same set of people who have already tested power getting nominated again, not for the interest of the people, but for the purpose of enriching their pockets and compensating them for their support in one way or the other? I think committed party members should be nominated so as to allow them have experience of power and not only being just a member. God bless Diamond FM, God bless Kwara State, God bless Nigeria. Another one here says, several messages already. Good morning, the presenter and the guest. May God deliver Nigeria from our leaders, from Joshua Ogunlabi in Sapati, Okeodo. This one here says, good morning, FTO. Please, I want to ask Elder a question. Some time ago, he said Atiku has never been indicted by any court of law when people were accusing him of being corrupt and he cannot contest. But your guest is now saying he hates to hear that. Isa Muhammad Ilori. Elder, someone's... they say you on this show, maybe not with me, of course not with me, that you said while Atiku, had a couple of allegations, you said, well, no court has ever indicted him. That's what he's alleged.
I can't remember when I said so.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. All right, this one here says, good morning, FTO and the elder in the studio. Corruption has eaten deep into the system of this country. The major problem in Nigeria is all these anti-graft agencies are not doing anything. Mr. Timmy Tokwe from Ilorin. We have more. This one here says, morning, presenter. My question is, do we play politics with democracy or do we practice democracy with political policies? It is disheartening trying to comprehend the state of the country. Chris from Emir Road. Let's take a pause. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live. What is your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Daniel, calling from Ilorin.
Daniel, good to have you. Please go on.
It surprised me when I hear people say they're surprised. It surprises me. You remember fast. Say this is Nigeria. Man, I mean, this is it. Our young people who graduate, our children who graduate, parents pay to secure job for them. 2 million, 1.5 million. So that's it. We have not gotten a leader yet that will tell us this is where we are going, and the body will follow. That's the problem we have. When the leader sits right, this is the direction we are going. Everybody will follow. You don't follow, the agency will take you. They're just doing all this drama. You see now, you hear talk. I listened to the woman the other day. She was swearing, she was, saying she has made her money. Well, it's an allegation anyway, but look, we know what is going on. She has made her money. You think it's easy for someone to come out and say money is paid into his account, he mentioned the bank? You think it's easy? They might have told him, this is it. We settle a plea bargaining and all this nonsense. This is Nigeria, my brother.
All right. Well, his take right there. Thank you very much for that particular take. He has quite a lot to say. Don't forget, we're streaming this conversation live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. Again, that is at Diamond 887 FM. That's the number via which you can reach us in the studio. Elder, let's quickly touch on this one very, very quickly. Keep the comments coming in. Well, this one's from UNICEF, who says, you know, of course, they've reiterated yet again that the first 1,000 days is the most important in the survival of a child. And, well, in most parts of the country, well, in some parts of the country, I beg your pardon, in the northeastern part of the country, apart from the activities of insurgents that have ravaged the northeast region, where millions of people have been thrown into poverty, the recent subsidy removal is another strain that the people have to live with. But pregnant women and under 2 children have been identified as victims of the problem that they know not. And even as many families are wiggling in hunger, the condition has been exacerbated by the sudden announcement of the increase in fuel prices. And UNICEF has said, well, this is going to cost us. It's already costing us quite a lot already.
Yeah. UNICEF and so many other foreign agencies had year in, year out been calling our attention to the decays in our system. And it's like nothing is done. And this is just this one we just mentioned is also a product of our corrupt system. The degree of corruption in our systems. We know that the severe acute malnutrition has become a long established problem facing our pregnant women, antenatal, and the young children between ages 1 and 5 who are prone to this thing, because by standard, the first 1,000 days of these children, they should be accessible. They should have access to good balanced diet, but they are not. So where you drugs money is allocated for to equip necessary clinics to cater for these ones, and just the figure that we hear on budget day, the money, the drug will not be there, the doctors will not be, the nurses will not be there, the why would that will not be there. We'll continue to have this. I think what we should be telling ourselves, yes, some people said they were surprised that we are saying we are surprised. I think it is just that we have to be surprised that these things are coming out. And my plea to Nigerians and whoever is in charge is that we should be making scapegoats of all this. We will hear this again. There have always been certain revelations at every level of committees probing certain things or other, and after that we don't hear anything again. Let us see big scapegoats being made, and for instance, the immediate past Attorney General, I just heard this morning that he too is being invited to come and account for certain things, burden on money as well. It has been a decadence in our system, and it's not. We should be mentioning it too. We should not be surprised that it is coming out, because it is happening. It's real. Well, but we should tackle it head on once and for all.
Tackle it head on once and for all. Well, let's open up the phone lines finally. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show. Let's see if we can pick up 1 or 2 last calls on the program. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zil.
Dr. Zil, good to have you back. Go on quickly, please.
I want to say that we are not tackling anything head on. We are just playing drama, and we are just joking. The reason why I say we are joking is that this is not the first time people in the office, political offices, or one agency of our startup will be questioned. They will be selected. There are all those others who are still there that are still doing this evil to us. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. Look at a lot of cases that are in court. What did they do to him? So for me, we are not yet ready as a nation. We are concentrating on Niger. Nigeria is in so many corruption war. We should face our own work already. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Zir. This one here says, when talking of corruption, we keep shouting on our leaders. Are these leaders not from the society? We have a big moral problem in the society. That's Isa Muhammad from Ilorin right here. Oh my God, several messages right here. It is raining messages like literally in here. This one here says, good morning, program anchor and guest in the studio. This Nigeria is another thing entirely because new faces cannot get the opportunity to get to the top. Only those who know how to chop Nigerian money are allowed. God save we the people of Nigeria. I'm sorry we can't take any more messages right now. That's because time is the only thing that we don't have at this point in time. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, last caller. What is your name and where you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Abayami calling back.
Abayami, welcome back. Please go on
If
quickly.
someone like myself, I'm not surprised in any way because this has been going on for a very long time. And this is the much reason why someone like me, I don't believe in the fact that let us pray for Nigeria. Nigeria needs prayer because we cannot be praying without taking the necessary action. Nigeria is not sick. It's only that the leaders are not just responsible. Imagine, look at it now. You will now say some people are misbehaving in their place of work. Why wouldn't they behave? Because they bought it. Some people are in the police service not because they want to be a police officer to serve the country, but because that's where they had the opportunity to get the job through buying all these things and all that. And later, people will be blaming the society. It's not about the society. It's about people who are giving orders. It's about people who are coordinating the system.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that take. I'm afraid we can't take any more right now. Well, it's been a great time sparring with Elder Wole Adedeji, editor, Nigerian Express, public affairs analyst. Elder, it's always good to have you join you.
Thank you for having me again.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the side for that. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. Same time, same station, Diamond 7 FM. My name is Babatunde OKUNLOLA. Friends call me FTO. Up next is Ebawa Dasi. Do stay tuned to your shining supreme station. Have a great day ahead of you.